Hello everyone. In today's session, we will start with the chapter Ecology, Organisms and Population. So, which goes in chapter 13, unit 10, NCERT 12th Biology, right? So, when we see what is organisms and what are populations, so we have to study that under ecology. So, we will tell that ecology has four basic levels of organization. Ecology has four basic levels of organization. What are the four basic levels of organization of ecology? Means one is called as organism level, or we can call it as individual level, and the second one is population level. That is what is the organism. The second one is population, and the third level of organization is community level, and the fourth level is biome level. So there are four basic levels of organizations in ecology. One is organism level, second one is population level, and the third one is community level, and the fourth one is biome level. When we see the various levels of biological organization, so what are the various levels of biological organization? Means when we start with macromolecules, we know that molecules will combine to make cells. Cells will combine to make tissues. Tissues will combine to make organs. Organs will combine to make organ systems. Organ systems will combine to make organisms. Organisms, a group of organisms is called population. Group of different populations is called as community. Group of different populations is called as community, and group of communities is called as ecosystems. Group of ecosystems is called as landscape, and many landscapes will make a biome. Many biomes will make a biosphere, which is also called ecosphere. So these are the various levels of biological organization. So if we see once again, it starts with the molecules. Molecules will combine to make cells. Cells will combine to make tissues. Tissues, a group of tissues which are having the same function, will combine to make an organ. Organs will combine to make organ systems. Organ systems will combine to make organism. Group of organisms, like a group of humans, will be called as human population. Human population, plant population, animal population. Different populations will make a community. Different communities comprises of ecosystem. In an ecosystem, producer level which community is there, consumer level which community is there, carnivorous level which community is there. So that's called ecosystem. Group of ecosystems will make a large area, that's called landscape. So it has defining boundaries. Now, and different landscapes will make a biome which has different climatic variations, climatic zones. Different biomes will make biosphere or ecosphere, or Earth is one biosphere or ecosphere. Earth, we have to take it as a biosphere or an ecosphere. Okay, so this is the levels of biological organization. So we have to start one by one. So we'll start from organism onwards. Organism is a basic or fundamental system or fundamental unit of ecosystem. So now let us see what is organism, what is population, what is community, what is ecosystem. So let us see that. Before going to this organism, population and community, we'll see the two basic branches of ecology. The two basic branches of ecology are, one is called as horticology, and the second one is called as synecology. There are two basic branches of ecology. One is horticology and the second one is synecology. Horticology is also called as organism ecology or population ecology, whereas synecology is community ecology. So horticology is a branch where we are going to study about organism ecology, or it is not, we can also call it as population ecology. Now, apart from the NCERT textbook, so there is a questionnaire book which is called as NCERT Exemplar, where for every chapter there will be certain MCQs, 1 marker questions, 2 marker questions, 3 marker questions and long answer questions. So this was one question in the NCERT Exemplar. So in the NCERT Exemplar, what is the question? I am telling what is horticology. This is there in NCERT Exemplar book. Okay, so this is one MCQ which they have been asked. So sometimes or many a times, so from the NCERT Exemplar books, direct questions will be picked by the NTA for the NEET examination paper. So we need to look into this angle also. So horticology, it deals with organism ecology or population ecology, and sign ecology is called as community ecology. So this is called as community ecology. So the branches of ecology also we have covered here. The levels of biological organization also we have covered here. Now let us see in detail about organism level of ecology, population, community level. One by one we will go. Now we'll start from the organism level as I told you. I told you organism. What is organism? It's a basic unit or fundamental unit of an ecosystem. So the first one, organism. What is it? It is the basic or fundamental unit of an ecosystem. It's nothing but a species, an individual. Now, next one, let's go with population. The next level is population. Group of similar species or aggregate of same species is called as a population. Aggregate of same species will make a population. It will make a population. Now let us see what are the different types of populations. So one, we have local population. What is local population? Population of organisms living in a specific area is called as local population. Now let us see the types. So first one I am telling, like population of organisms living in a specific area. Population of organisms living in a specific area, what is it called? I call it as local population. Now, local population, if they are occurring in different localities, then for example, we are here, our sister is somewhere, our brother is somewhere, like that. So then that is called sister population. Local population occurring in different localities is called sister population. Let us write that also. Local population occurring in different localities. Local population occurring in different localities. What is it called as? It is called as sister population. It is called as sister population. Now, local population, if they are intermixing, if they are showing intermixing abilities, then that is called what is that called? That is called metapopulation. We'll see what is metapopulation. Metapopulation means due to migration, the local population has shifted to a new area, and if they are intermixing with that area, then they are called as metapopulation. So, local population intermixing. Local population, they are intermixing due to migration, then that is called as metapopulation. And let us see what is meant by eco-type population. Let us see what is meant by eco-type type population. We'll see what is meant by ecotype. Means local population which are genetically, morphologically, physiologically, if they are adapted to the environment, then that is called ecotype. So what do you mean by ecotype? Local population if they show metabolic or morphologically, then physiologically, genetically adaptations or genetic adaptations to the environment. If they are showing adaptations to the environment, such a type of local population is called as ecotype. Such a type of local population is called as ecotype. So we discussed what is organism. Organism is the basic and fundamental unit of ecosystem. And then we came to the next hierarchy, that is population. What is population? It's a group of similar organisms. Then we are discussing what is local population, what is sister population, what is metapopulation, and what is ecotypic population. Then the next one, the third one will go is community. What is community? It's an aggregate of populations, right? Aggregate of different populations. Now, a plant population, animal population, human population, microbial population in one particular area will be called as a community. Now, a biotic community is characterized by what are the features of a biotic community? Let us list down. So, a biotic community is characterized by what are the characteristics? Let us go. A biotic community is characterized by physiognomy is the one feature. Then next one is species diversity is the second feature. What is keystone species? What is dominant species? What is critical species? What is edge species? So all these are the characteristics of a typical biotic community. Let's go with the first characteristic, which is called as physiognomy. So what do you mean by physiognomy? It is the morphological appearance of a community. What is physiognomy? It's an external appearance of a community. It is the external appearance of a community. Like it is tropical foresta, grassland ecosystem, deciduous foresta, evergreen foresta. It's an external appearance. So that is the first one, which is called as physiognomy. Next one, we should understand what is meant by keystone species. What is meant by keystone species? Even though the number of the keystone species might be less in a particular ecosystem, but they have a crucial role, vital role to maintain the stability of an ecosystem, then such a type of species, we call it as a keystone species. So now the species which have a crucial role in providing the stability to an ecosystem, even though their number might be less, but it has a wide impact on it. For example, if you take fig is an example of a keystone species. Now let us see what is meant by dominant species then. Dominant species is the one, because of its dominance, it has an effect, it has a particular effect on the ecosystem. What is dominant species? It's an ability to affect the other members of the ecosystem because of its dominating role. It has an ability to affect other members of ecosystem. It has an ability to affect the other members of ecosystem due to its dominating effect. So we know insects are more. What is the dominating effect of the insect in an ecosystem? That in that way, if you see, it is called as dominating species. Then what do you mean by network species? Now the species which interconnects two food chains, we call it a food web. The species which interconnects two food chains is called as a network species. The species which interconnects two food chains or which makes a food web is called as network species. Next one, what do you mean by critical link species? What do you mean by a critical link species? The species which supports a network species is called as critical link species. Now the species which supports the network species is called as critical link species. Then next one, what do you mean by edge species? Now from one community to one community there will be demarcation, that is called edge. Now the species which is inhabiting in that edge is called as edge species. What shall we write? The species which occur at the boundaries of a community. The species which occur at the boundary of a community is called edge species. Now edge species, we call it as an edge effect also. Edge effect is called, this is also called ecotone. It is also called, I'll write it here, ecotone. So this, what is ecotone? Again, it is there in NCERT exemplar. So that means it is important to understand what is ecotone. Ecotone means it's a transitional zone between two communities is the answer. Now come on, tell me what is ecotone? Ecotone is a transitional zone, a boundary zone between two communities, and this ecotone, which species are there in this ecotone, are called as edge species. Now network species means which connects the two food chains, and the species which is supporting the network species is called as critical link species. The one which dominates, because of its dominating effect, it has an impact on the ecosystem, is called as dominant species. Even though the number might be less, but it has a wide impact in maintaining the stability on the ecosystem, is called as keystone species. Physiognomy is an external appearance of a community, whether it's a desert ecosystem or it's an aquatic ecosystem or it's a tropical ecosystem, then that is called physiognomy. All these are the characteristics of a biotic community. And what is community? Community is an aggregate of different populations. The important point here is ecotone. What is ecotone? It's a transition zone between two communities. At the transition zone, you call it as an edge. At that edge species will be there. So this is the information about community. Now after community, what is the next one? Group of communities will make an ecosystem. Now let's go to the fourth point. The first point we discussed about organism. Second point we discussed about population. Third point we discussed about community. Now the fourth one, what we need to discuss is what is ecosystem. Group of organisms, if they are making one population. Group of populations will make one community. Group of communities will make one ecosystem. So terrestrial ecosystem, aquatic ecosystem. So because we cannot study the whole systems which are present on an earth at a time, so we will divide them into terrestrial ecosystems and aquatic ecosystems. So 14th chapter is ecosystems. There we can study it in detail. Now here we will just see the definition and move on into the next thing. So first one, organism, we already discussed. Second one, population, we do discuss. Third one, community, we also discussed. Now we are at the fourth point, which is called as ecosystem. Now what is ecosystem? It is aggregates of communities. Will make an ecosystem. Aggregates of communities will make an ecosystem. Terrestrial ecosystem, aquatic ecosystem, like that it goes. Now after ecosystem, next one I told it is landscape. Now a group of ecosystems. A group of ecosystems, so or aggregate of ecosystems which are delimited by natural boundaries is called as a landscape. So it is aggregate of ecosystems which are delimited by boundaries is called as a landscape. Now, when compared to ecosystem, landscape is large. Now, next one, group of landscapes will make a biome. So, biome, we can tell it is aggregate of landscapes. It's aggregate of landscapes now showing variations in climatic variations. So, how is one biome different from another biome? Its climate is different, showing climatic variations. Should be called as a biome then. Then the last one, a group of biomes is called as a biosphere or ecosphere, or Earth is one ecosphere. So, this includes aggregate of biomes. It includes aggregates of biomes. This is the hierarchy or various levels of organization. Now, in NCERT textbook, they have given the 4 major biomes. The 4 major biomes in India are, they have given tropical forest, desert, deciduous forest, like that they have given. So, the 4 main biomes, they have given the pictures, the 4 main biomes in India. The 4 main biomes in India, one is tropical rainforest. One is tropical rainforest. The second one is deserts. And the third one is grassland. And the fourth one is coastal area. These are the 4 main biomes of India. Now, when we see like how many, depending upon the rotation of the sun and the globe, so we can tell what are tropical, what is temperate, what is subtropical region, what is Arctic, Antarctic regions, and what are the polar regions, what is the annual rainfall there, what is the mean annual temperature there, which type of vegetation grows there. All that we can discuss in our next class. So, in this session, what did we discuss? We have seen the various levels of biological organization, and we have seen what are the branches of biology, and we have seen one by one what is organism, what is population, what is community, all that we discussed. Okay. So, if you like the content, you can like, share and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.